Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about a mouse that I wasn't even considering on buying until I saw it on sale for $30, and that is the Roccat Kone Pro Air. And the reason why I got this is because I actually have another Roccat mouse that I have from about 2 years ago called the Kane that I still really like to this day, and it also probably has some of the best clicks on any mouse that I've had, and that's very, very high praise coming from me. Now, the Kone Pro Air does have its issues. However, I am going to be a little bit more lenient on these issues because, again, this is $30. So it's very, very cheap. And when you consider the fact that this is also a big name brand and this is very well spec'd, especially for the price, this is a very, very good deal. However, I'll just point out the issues right away. First of all, there is some sidewall flexing here, especially at the top of the mouse. As you can see, I'm not putting a ton of pressure on that, and even when I'm not putting a ton of pressure on that, there still is some flexing, and on the right side as well. But this is fortunately not something you really feel at all because of just the way the mouse is shaped. And it is shaped very, very well. I actually really like the shape for this mouse, and that is very, very high praise coming from me. From someone that doesn't really like ergonomic shapes like me. So yeah, this shape is very, very good. And I honestly thought I would really dislike this kind of like protruding right or left side, but it actually fits my hand very, very well, and it just kind of naturally curves with my thumb, and that's what I really like about this mouse. I would say the worst part about the shape is probably just the way that my thumb, or not my thumb, but like my ring and my pinky finger kind of like make contact with the mouse. It just feels a little bit awkward, but rather than that, it's pretty good, and I really like this shape. It's nowhere near as like good as like a XM1R for me, but still very, very good. But another issue that I actually had with this mouse wasn't like anything related to build or anything. It was actually firmware, which is a very rare issue that I have with any mouse. But yeah, for some reason when I got this mouse out of the box and I updated it to the latest firmware, and I got Roccat Swarm, it's just okay. But yeah, when I got the latest firmware, for some reason when I was just opening up a web page and I clicked, for some reason the click worked, but it also scrolled down for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it was bound to like two things at once, but for some reason it was doing that. So I had to revert back to an old firmware, and that seemed to have fixed it. But it isn't completely fixed because for some reason the lighting also doesn't change properly. So whenever I try to change the lighting, like the RGB, it just doesn't work properly, and now I'm just stuck with this from now on, which honestly isn't that bad. But yeah, I can't change the lighting at all, basically. But firmware issues and build quality issues aside, this is a pretty good mouse, again, as I've already said, for the price. The clicks feel pretty decent. They're not, like, amazing. My Death Adder wipes the floor with this, but they feel still pretty decent, and they're way more consistent than even, like, my Pulsar X2 that I had. So, yeah, that's saying something. The side buttons are pretty tactile, but they are kind of springy feeling, if that makes sense. Like, you can kind of hear that. I don't know what that's really called, but it kind of cheapens the feeling of it. But they are really huge as well. And the scroll wheel is a little bit heavy for me, like the Kane, but it overall feels okay. And that's what I would consider everything in this mouse. Okay. But for the price that you're getting this at, this is a very, very good deal. But yeah, that's basically it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.